So, political activism. What exactly does that mean? Well, let's take a look at it. Political, you've probably heard of, and it probably makes you picture something like this. And while activism does contain active, which might make you think of something like this, it can also mean taking action in other ways, using your voice to make a difference. So when we put them together, a picture begins to form. A picture of people just like you, affecting real change in their world. So if you want to find out more about political activism, or maybe you're thinking of becoming more politically active yourself, where should you start? Right here. This video will point you in the direction of resources pertaining to political activism, and show you how to get started finding more on your own. Okay, to get started, step away from that laptop. We're going to start with good old-fashioned print resources. The Encyclopedia of Activism and Social Justice is an encyclopedia edited by Gary Anderson and Catherine Herr. It offers brief descriptions of different movements and activists worldwide, and it also has additional reading resources listed after each entry, so it's a great place to start. If you're looking for something a little more accessible and more narrative, The Art of Protest by T.V. Reed is a good way to go. It covers over 50 years of history in the United States, and it shows all the various forms that protest and political activism can take, from rock and roll to the civil rights movement and just about everything in between. For those looking for ways to get involved, MoveOn's 50 Ways to Love Your Country is a great start. MoveOn.org started as a political reaction to a specific candidate, but has since gone on to become a how-to guide for getting involved in your country. The book lists specific types of involvement and then gives direct advice on how to take part. As a teen today, you probably have a lot of experience with the internet. If you want to know how to harness those skills to affect change, Cyber Citizen by Christopher Cush is well worth a read. It offers both a history of technology and activism and a guide on how to use your own cyber life to affect change in the political system. Speaking of your cyber life, let's get down to those web resources I know you've been itching to look for. So maybe you just turned 18 and you're about to vote for the first time. Or maybe you can't vote yet, but you just want to know what's going on. Vote Smart is a great place to look. The website offers you the ability to look up your own area to find out who your representatives are, what their records have been, and when they're next up for election. In order to utilize this website, simply put into your web browser www.votesmart.org. Once you reach the site, it should look something like this. To the right, you see a search box. In that search box, you can put in your zip code or other identifying information so that the website can bring up your specific area and the representatives that are currently representing you. A relatively new site, teenactivist.org, is allowing teens to share their activism goals and what they've already done with others just like them. By navigating through the specific topics on the left, teens can explore political activism and social activism areas that specifically interest them. Teens can then post journal entries detailing the activism they've already participated in or what they plan to do in the future. It's a great way to interact with other teens who are also interested in political activism. Now that your interest has been piqued, it's time for you to go out and do your own research on the topic of political activism. Here's a few tools that will help you. When looking for books on the subject of political activism, or really anything, a good place to start is the Library of Congress online catalog. It can be reached by going to catalog.loc.gov. Although there are several ways to search this catalog, we're going to start with one of the most basic. Go to the search bar that says Quick Search. Change the drop-down box on the right from Keyword All to Subject. In Quick Search, this is where we're going to enter our search terms. Having a working knowledge of some of the related search terms that Library of Congress uses officially can make this process much more precise and easier. For instance, if I was going to look for resources related to political movements in America and youth, I might try some of the following search terms. At this point, you might be asking, what's wrong with Google? That's how I always search for things. And the answer might surprise you. There's nothing wrong with using Google as a resource. It's just important to remember that not everything that's posted on the internet is equally valid or useful. If you are looking for things that you will use as your sources in an academic paper, for instance, you don't want to just use a bland Google search because you won't be able to verify the validity of your results. If you do need results that are academically verified, try Google Scholar by visiting scholar.google.com. You'll be able to see under the search box that these articles are all from academic sources. You still have to be vigilant though and make sure that the information that you're reading is not opinion, but research. And there you have it, your brief introduction to the concept of political activism. The resources in this video should help you on your journey to getting informed and getting involved. Good luck!